Hey y'all, welcome to Monday Night Live. I'm Emily Haas, super excited to introduce y'all to friend of mine, Diamond Ambassador Jill Renfro tonight. We are beyond excited to have her here tonight. I don't know when I first became aware of Jill, but I've been here since 2015. She's been here as long as that, at least. And I was a fangirl from the first time that I heard her speak, and then met her in Orlando at convention after the Darius Rucker concert, and have a picture to prove it. And I was just blown away with her. And you just cannot listen to her talk for half a second and not feel like you can go take on the world, go do all the things. And that's why she was definitely my first choice to bring on here tonight. So, if you don't know Jill, she is a Texas girl, retired teacher. Her husband was oil field. Not anymore though. And just all the things. So really excited to have her here tonight. She's inspired the heck out of me for years, and I know that she's going to do the same for y'all tonight. I have given her the floor to share her heart. And so that's what she's going to do. And while she's talking, if y'all have any questions, just drop them in the chat. And then if we have time at the end, I will go back and ask them to her. So have at it, Jill.
Absolutely. I'm excited. I always like to share too, like I'm an open book, like straight up. So any question, all question, like I'm here. One of the first calls that I ever attended as someone who was growing my business, I'll never forget. I love her to death, but I'll never forget this call. Melissa Eichenhorst was hosting the call. And I had had a day, like teaching third graders, enough where you're like, is Walmart hiring? Like that's where I was at. And I get on this call at night. I'm inspired about plexus. And I'm so tired, like my earlobes hurt, like that kind of tired. You're like, get your earrings out. Like I cannot function. And Melissa Eichenhorst looks beautiful. She looks like a Barbie. She looks like $1,000,000. And it's like 9 p.m. And I remember sitting there being like, if I ever got the opportunity to talk on a call, I don't even think I was sober yet. I was like, people are going to get me like they get me. Like it is going to be nighttime. You're either going to see like wet hair, greasy hair, pajamas, no makeup. Like I, I remember watching her and just being in awe, but also being like, I don't know if I can do that. She looks like $1,000,000 at 9 p.m. And I know her today. That's not her every day, all the day. That was just my vision of it. So all that to say, I love that y'all are accepting me exactly the way that I am. Not a lick of makeup, no earrings in the lobes. And here we are, fresh and clean. So I'm so honored to be with y'all tonight. I am fangirling over this team. I love y'all, like love y'all with like a capital love. I feel like I'm here because I have to pay back Brittany. Like she is putting them services out for free, like beyond. I can't even believe it. So when I told my team call we have a team call tonight. And I was like, hey, I won't be on tonight. I'll be on Brittany Howard's team call. And they were like, shut the front freaking door. And they were like, well, shut our call down and we'll move over there. I'm like, I know, right? And so anywho, that's how much they were so excited for it and all the things. They were like, tell her thank you for her podcast. Oh my gosh, we love it so much. So from my team, thank y'all so much for sharing your Grandma Diamond with us. She is so amazing and y'all are on a wonderful team. And I know that you know that, and I know that you hear that, but I feel like I have a really good marriage. I'll put that out there. My husband's a unicorn. He really is. He's a unicorn. And sometimes I take advantage of how amazing he is as a unicorn of a husband until I go and see something else, or I hear something else, or a comment by another man. And I'm like, my husband would never, oh my God, like what? And so sometimes you almost have to be put in a different situation to realize how good you have it. And I just want to tell y'all, because y'all are so like right here in this bubble, you have it so really amazing. So, so, so good that you have such a strong foundation of diamond leaders on your team, jewel leaders on your team that are just rowing the way with the vision of Plexus, and y'all's team is so inviting. Like everyone knows who y'all are. So if you can say like, I am on this team right here, I need you to know like, ooh, that is so cool to say, like so cool to say, right? So just wanted to give y'all that love and shout out that y'all are in a wonderful place. And thank you for welcoming me into this place. And I know that these are my people where I get to be a little bit very real. And say all the things. I think y'all allow that the way that I do. That's why we click, because we're the realest of real. I will pray you upside and down around. I'll have a margarita with you. I'll go to church with you. I'll also run with you. Like, I'm that real. I'm your friend like that. Like, what are we going to do, girl? Like, hey, I'm there. I'm committed with you. So I'm so excited that y'all are just going to let me be here tonight and just share what's on my heart. So snippet backstory, you saw my Diamond documentary. My life's a little bit changed since then. We have a 2.5-year-old little blondie. He's super cute. His name's Griggs, and he is a 3rd round IVF baby after a lot of loss, and a lot of heartache. And that has a lot to do with my rebuilding of my business and where I'm at today and the leader that I am today. Because when I built my business very much as minority in this company. I think I was the second diamond to not have children. Christy Hull was, I think, the first, and then myself as the diamond. So I built my business first go round, not a mom, not around a nap schedule at all. But I felt very imposter and fraud like a lot of times because I was training moms and I was coaching moms of people who had all this different lifestyle than I did. And so I need you to know, right? Oftentimes you don't feel like you fit in even when you have arrived into a situation or whatever that might look like, right? So I built my business as me with a traveling husband, 3rd grade teacher, not a mom. And I will be very honest with you. I had to completely rebuild my business because trauma tore me apart. Trauma is real. I will never discredit anybody's trauma. I know why God, one of the reasons I went through that is because my empathy needed to grow and I needed to understand people more and I needed to feel with people in that valley. Oftentimes I was the person who was just like, come on, girl, like I'm going to get you out of the valley. But I think what makes a really great friend, leader, coach, mentor, anything is to sometimes sit down in the valley with people where they're at. And oftentimes I was like, come on, get up. Like, why can't everybody just get up? And I needed to learn to sit with people in that valley. And so I share that with you. If you have someone on your team or in your organization, or maybe it's a potential, someone that you have followed up with for 18 months and she's finally going to do it. And yay, she's in it to win it. And whatever the reason might be that it's not her season, maybe sit with her in that valley for a minute. Maybe that's where she needs you to be. That's the coaching and the guiding that she needs you, right? So I share that because that's a big part of my rebuild, my comeback story of whatever you want to say. But I'm thankful for that fall in my personal life and in my business because it got me to where I'm at today. And I know it, I believe it. I know that I'm probably a more patient mother than I would have been. I'm probably a better friend than I would have been. I feel more empathy. And I love the fact that my team or anybody in Plexus can come to me and say, Jill, I was senior Ruby and today I'm barely holding on to gold points. I'm like, woo, girl, I get it. But at least you're holding on by the thread attached to his garment. Like that's where you're at. Right? Like I've been there. I know that. And so wherever you're at in your business, maybe you are zooming. Maybe you're kind of right here and you're holding steady. Maybe you've fallen back a rank or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever that might be. I need you to know that you don't suck. And I need you to know that you can get out of that valley. And I need you to know that you're in a really great place to rise up out of that valley. And I know you've got a lot of women who will sit in that with you, but then you got a lot of women who are like, all right, sis, we've sat in this muck and this funk enough, and it is time to move. And so what I really feel like is on my heart to share with y'all tonight, if you're taking notes, I'm a reading and writing teacher by trade, so I love to note take. I love all the things. I'm like, give me a title before I start taking notes. I need to know the title. So if you're a title person, I'm going to give you a title because it's going to make you feel better when you flip open your planner or wherever you're working in. Okay. Habit. Okay. We're going to write the word habit, and we're going to do the greater than sign and then hustle. Okay. So we've got habit over hustle. Okay. And I want to talk to you something about that I've been very passionate about with my team in this current season. I had a big realization a few months ago. I'm like, whoa, 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 skirt, stop. I'm like, what is happening here? We're doing, and I get it. I get our plexus culture, y'all. I get it. We're in Magic Week right now. It's 3 days. I get it. We can bring in more people in the last 24 hours than we can in like 24 months. Like, it's the craziest thing in the world. It's cool. It's so cool. And it's a high, and I love it. But it also doesn't make sense to me sometimes. Like, it just doesn't, because it goes to show, I'm gonna step on some toes. It goes to show that we are addicted to the hustle and we do not have the habit. If we had consistent, sustainable habits along the way, we wouldn't be scrambling by on the 28th of the month to get 3 people to earn a cup so that we've got bragging rights on our social media and our team looks like we did it. And then all of a sudden we're a great leader and we have a booming business, right? But what happened is we do that over and over and over and over. And we're like, I did it. I had growth. Y'all, I had growth. I had growth. I got the cup. I got the blanket. I got the lunchbox, whatever they're doing. I got the thing. I got the this. We're going. I got on the boat. I got to the island. I did it. We hustled, but through the hustle, we did not create sustainable habits that keep the result. We got that quick result through the hustle, but we didn't do anything to create the habit to keep the result. How many of you have earned something and then lost it in this business? Any shake of hands? You're like, got it. And then back at the bathroom floor. Here we go again, right? Like, relatable. Got it, but then fell. Got it, and then fell. It is because, yo, we have got to, like, now the word isn't even break up. We've got to be like, screw you, like, flip the bird to hustle. I hate it. Once I sat there and really thought about it and peeled this back, there's a time and place for hustle. We're in it. It's end of the month. We're there. It's a crunch time. Don't knock me and say, like, Jill said, we don't hustle for that because Christina will cut my tires. Okay. That's not the case. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if we had consistent habits over the 1st through the 27th, we wouldn't find ourselves in scramble mode. And did you know, I'm a podcast junkie. I love to listen. I have like a podcast doctorate degree. I just love it. I love listening to it. And I absolutely love your podcast, Brittany. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you for not charging people for it. It is gorgeous. I love it. All that to say, one of my favorite people to listen to is Mel Robbins. Anybody know Mel Robbins? She'll slap you upside down and around. I love her. If you feel like you're in a little bit of a head funk, I'm going to challenge you to attach her to some of your dishes, walking, I don't know, elliptical rowing time. And she's going to slap you upside down and around. I love it. One of her podcasts, it was called Quitter's Day. And I actually listened to it again today I think this is like the 4th time I've listened to it. I love it. I love listening to things multiple times. There's research behind listening to something 7 times. Like, I love it. I'm there for it. I'm addicted to the growth. But she talks about Quitter's Day. The average Quitter's Day. Look, I'm going to ask you, before I tell you the answers, this is like Jeopardy over here. Tell me in the chat. Does anybody know what day of the month do y'all think is the Quitter's Day? What day of the month? And there was stats done it was Mel Robbins, over 800 million people for these stats. So this is some stats. This wasn't like they interviewed 100 people, 800 million. Let's see, 15th, 8th, 19th, 19th. Okay, 5th, Stalker, 19th. Okay, some of y'all have listened to this. It's the 19th. Quitter's Day is the 19th of the month. And when I heard that the first time on her podcast and she talked about stats, I was like, son of a gun. Doesn't that describe our company? Son of a gun. Oh my gosh. We go in, well, this is a new month and this is going to be so good and it's going to be different this time. And I'm there. I'm so committed. And then it gets a little uncomfortable. There's a ball thrown at us, like always. You think we would know that, like, a speed bump was coming, you think we'd be smart enough by now to know that an ear infection is coming, a dishwasher breaking is coming, a sore throat is coming, or whatever. You think we would know these things by now, but we think this time the road's going to be smooth. We're really dumb. Like, we should just go ahead and write that down. Like, I am dumb for thinking there is not a speed bump that's going to happen, right? And so here we are, we're moving, okay, and then there's a speed bump. And then we're like, oh, hell, well, that stops all the progress I did for the first 18 days. So now I'm just out. I'm out. I'm all done. I wash my hands, toddler language over here. I'm all done, right? And so now here it is the 19th and we've quit. And then we're like, well, here I am again. Here I am again. Here I am again. Here I am again. I didn't wait. Everybody's doing what? Oh my gosh, it's 28th. Okay, I got to move. I got to move. We go right back into hustle culture. And then we go, hustle leads us to burnout. And then on the first, we go, that was a lot, right? And then we don't even get our wheels spinning again till after we've lost 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, because in the end, we were only after the result. We were not after the habit that was going to keep the result. So I know you're like, whoa, Jill, this is a lot. Like, maybe you had some light bulbs coming up the way that I did when I first figured this out. And I realized I was a national quitter day in a lot of things, like in a lot of areas of my life. And so I figured that out a few years ago. And that's what changed a lot of things for me, because I often was operating out of an emotion instead of, a routine and a habit that I created, right? So what we often do is we are comparing our current season to a previous season of ours, right? Like, well, the results, and we all can relate to this. Majority of us are women on the call. Ready? Okay. We've all been on a lot of diets, right? And so we figure out, when I was my thinnest, I was doing this. We've all done it. When I was my thinnest, I was doing this. Do y'all want to know when I was my thinnest, what I was doing? You know what I was doing? I was bartending. I was out till 2 a.m. I ate barbecue chips for lunch and literally had no protein. That was the thinnest I ever was. So is that the season I need to go back to get that result? It's like, no, gosh, no, right? But what we do is we compare where we're at today. What's my goal today? I'm after wellness, obviously, praise God. Thank you, Jesus. I'm after wellness. I'm after gut health. I'm after habits, right? I'm not after that result of just getting skinny. Because if I was going to do what worked then, that doesn't align with my vision today. Like, that does not align at all. So what we tend to do is we don't evaluate ourselves in this current season. So what I found myself doing when I was rebuilding the second time to Diamond, and I'm being very vulnerable with you all, and I'm going to be that way because I feel that someone on here needs to know this. Not only did I lose Diamond, I lost Sapphire. And 1 month I closed at 1503. And if you know that, you know that I was by the hair of my chinny chin to hold on to a jewel rank. 3 points over. 3 points over someone who was closing well over 6,000. Well over. Okay. Anybody feel like a little more normal right now? Okay, cool. Awesome. On the same page. But what I was doing is I was comparing, okay, I'm in this season now. At that season, I had all this trauma, had a new baby. I'm still carrying all this trauma. Now I've got a new life and all these things. And I'm like, all right, I got to get back to what I was doing when I was at my highest. Well, when I was at my highest, my season looked different. I didn't have all that trauma. I didn't have all that mindset junk. I didn't have all that fear. I didn't have new mom anxiety. I didn't have sleep schedules and wake windows and what. I didn't have that. So I was telling myself, okay, I got to get back to that, but it wasn't working in that season. So what does this mean for us? What do we do? We have to evaluate our current season and stop comparing it to a former season where the results were different. Today, right? A lot of us are very mindful. Some of y'all are counting macros and limiting carbs and keto and upping protein. We're doing all these things, right? Because the season in our life today, we're like, well, I'm menopausal, or well, I'm this, or well, I'm postpartum. I've got to do this because what I was doing when I was 24, that doesn't work today, right? Now you got those results, but it's not going to work in this current season of your life. So here's what we're going to talk about with your current business of where you're at, regardless of where you're at. If you're sweeping all the things and earning all the things, I want you to soak this into your brain. former pastor of mine said, if you're on top of that mountain and you're waving that flag and you're like, victory is mine, blessings are coming. He's like, hold on, because there's a valley right on the other side of a mountain. Okay. I hope you don't ever experience what I experienced in my business. I hope you don't lose diamond and then sapphire and then barely hold on and have to rebuild your entire team. I hope you do not. But you're going to come in contact with somebody on your team who is in that situation. And it may not be Jewel. It might be they were senior ruby, lost senior ruby, now lost ruby, now barely holding on to senior gold. It might be a different area in the compensation plan. But either you or someone you know, care about, or coach is going to be in this situation. So hold on, right? This is where we're taking notes, even if it doesn't apply to you currently in this season. I want you to think about your current season where you're at. Children, spouses, activities, jobs, everything, right? And what we tend to do is we're looking to the person who's got the results that we want. We're looking to the Brittany, to the Christina, to the Emily, to the Fallon, to the Jill, to the whoever. We're looking to the person who has the results. But my current season in reality looks drastically different than theirs. So here I am going, okay, I'm comparing my life and my season, and she's in a completely different season over here, but this is what I need to be doing. And then what we do, we're our own worst, like we are awful to ourselves. We compare ourselves to our worst critics ever. We're our worst enemies with everything. We trash talk ourselves. We're telling ourselves that it is either, I want you to write this down, a pass or a fail mentality. We're telling ourselves it's pass or fail. That's it. It's pass or fail. That's it. And we don't look at any of the consistent habits that are building blocks along the way. And those building blocks, those habits that are built, that's where the gold comes from. Those are the lessons learned, right? Anybody can set a goal. Any one of us can. I think Brittany has said that on a podcast. Like anybody can set a goal. Woohoo, right? But what separates the doers from the dreamers, right, is doing, is the action. We can all set a goal. We can all write that down. We can all be like, I can wish and I can hope, right? But it's the action. And that's where we miss out on all of these beautiful, hella hard habits along the way that build us up and get us to that ultimate result, right? But what we're doing is we're viewing it as a pass or fail. And we think, okay, well then everything else in between doesn't matter because I still didn't get there. And we're not evaluating all the growth that has happened along the way. And if you are someone who loves 75 hard, great, do all the things with 75. I've never done it personally, so I can't say I don't like it. But when I hear about the challenge 75 hard, this is where I struggle. Someone told me, a friend of mine did it one time, and she was like, well, I'm on day 43 and I missed it, so I have to start over. I was like, well, you got to start over. You've done 42 days of a lot of freaking work. And now they said, you're out. I was like, okay, that's great. I mean, the guy who wrote it, maybe he's making more money than me. I'm not sure. Great. That's awesome. I'm like, but you're out. You got like, you done? They said that that's it. They're like, yeah. She's like, you failed. I'm like, golly, that's awful to think about. All of the effort you've put in, like, doesn't even matter. So it's like mindset garbage of telling you, but everything I've done. We live in this culture of pass or fail mentality. Well, I failed, so I'm out. I missed Ruby again, so I'm out. I didn't get that again, so I'm out. This is the second leadership retreat that I still didn't make, so I'm out. And we're sitting there at the fail when we didn't look at, but what happened in the lessons? What happened in the growing? What happened in that valley? Right? And so I challenge you in this current season of your life, whatever that looks like, for you to identify, right? It's like self-identify. I want us to all identify what consistency looks like for us. Jill Renfro's consistency is different than Christina's consistency, which is different than Emily's consistency, what is different than Molly's consistency, Terry's consistency. It's different because our seasons are different. But in the end, when you stick with something, I'm going to put something out there. When you stick with something, you're something. When you stick with it over time, that's a compound effect, right? And it's going to build, and then it's going to be more of a habit for you. But that doesn't mean hers is wrong and hers is wrong and yours is wrong, because we're not all doing the same exact type of thing. It looks drastically different. Example A, as a silver in the business, if you're working your business 5 hours a day as a silver, I'm going to tell you, oh, honey, you're going to be so burnt out by tomorrow. Like, you shouldn't be working 5 hours today. Like, gosh, no. If you are emerald in this business and you said, well, I work 5 minutes a day, I'm like, oh, honey, we're struggling. We need to get it. We need to keep going, right? It looks different. If you're someone, and I know every single one of your uplines would agree, you just had a baby yesterday and you're like, and I'm doing this and I'm hosting an event, they're gonna be like, oh, honey, sit down. Woo, sister, sit down for a minute, right? We need to evaluate your current season of what's healthy. Because if not, we're not in that healthy habit consistent mode. And we then go back to the vicious cycle of hustle over habit. So I want you to look at your business, wherever it is, right? And I challenge you, I'm going to give y'all some homework. I challenge you, your closest working upline, the person that is coaching you and that you look to for guidance, right? That could be 2 people ahead of you. That could be 1 person. That could be 4. And I get that. And you might be like, I don't have nobody. I'm going to call you BS because there's probably 14 people up. Someone's going to help you. I legit had nobody. So I was like a lone Plexus Ranger. Okay. I'm Nikki Hinkle. Y'all know her. I'm her level 8 person. She didn't looking at me on no report. She was like, Jill, who? Yeah. So seriously, you've got people. I know you've got people. You message these people who have poured so much time and love and effort and systems and resources and coaching and guidance into this team, and you decide to be consistent with them in whatever that looks like. You get with them and say, hey, I need some help making a consistent plan for what looks like for me. So I'm throwing y'all's uplines out there because they're going to be like getting some messages being like, oh, okay. But I know that they've already done all this stuff. They do this stuff all the time. Like, hey, let's make a roadmap for you. Hey, let's find a plan that works for you this month. Let's see what we can do. Where can I hold you accountable? How can I support you? I know that they're saying these things because I've watched all the YouTubes. They're saying these things, y'all. So anyways, you get with them and say, okay, this is my current season, but these are my goals. Like we said, we can all make a goal. Okay, then let's all make a goal because we can make a goal, but not all of us are going to build those habits, right, over hustle. And I want you to throw that out, like break up with hustle of like, I gotta get it done today. Oh my gosh, it's now or never, pass or fail. No, what are the things you're doing along the way in this current season that's going to help you grow, feel successful, have something to, audit and reflect on compared to the next month, and something that you can look back on and be like, oh, the speed bump came. But even though the speed bump came and 2 ear infections came in your home and all hell went to whatever, you can still go, hey, look what I've done for 18 straight days. Like, look what I've done for the 3/4 of the month. Like, I can take 2 days and go, okay, my family needs me here. I need to rearrange there. That looks good. And then I'll pick back up, right? All of us are so stuck in the diet culture of, I had an off weekend, I went on vacation, whatever, I suck, diets out. No, you just, like Christina, just count your macros again come Monday. I learned that from her, just like, get to going. Like, that's where you go, just get back. Okay, it doesn't mean that you failed. It doesn't mean that all the progress you built was lost, and it sure don't mean you gained your 35 pounds back. It means you just get right back to going. Think about how we coach people with product. What do? Oh my God, I forgot my product. Oh, I went out of town to my mom's. You're like, oh my God, girl, when you get home, get back on them, right? Just get back on them. Think what we do all day long with the product. Okay, so think about that with you. I want you to talk to yourself like that. Self-evaluate when you are working your business and the speed bump comes and whatever happens, and before you go, oh, well, this month's a wash, it's not going to happen, so it doesn't matter what I do now. So you go, no, you've done really well. Look what you've tracked. Look at your consistency. Look at your efforts. Wow. Okay. This won't derail you. This day I had a migraine and period cramps isn't going to lose all of the business that I created 23 days before, because I am on a mission for habits over hustle. Right? I'm on a mission for habits over hustle. So pass fail mentality, guys, we got to throw it away. We have got to throw it away. I'm here to tell you, you are not a failure. You logged on a call on a Monday night. That already goes to show you you're a winner. There's something inside of you that says you're doing something that's here. Like that's what, woo. If this is all you've done today, you've done something that says I'm hungry for growth. You've done something. You are not the average bear. You're not. Most people aren't going to block that out. They're watching Netflix right now. They did not get on the call tonight and they have come up with another excuse. Your girlfriend who's like, I'm in it, but she's not here tonight. She's not in it. I'm going to tell you that she's not in it. She does not have the habit. You're here. You have a habit on a Monday, non-negotiable team call. We're here because I'm growing, because I've got goals, and my goals go a lot further than a shiny, cute Plexus Stanley. My goals go to legacy vision for my family. My goals go to blank, fill in the blank of whatever that looks like for you. That's why you're here, because you're hungry for growth. So then why not take the effort to make a consistency habit plan? I am in a 47-day habit reset for working out. Backstory on Jill. I had 36 stitches when I had Griggs. It was miserable. Hole to hole, not pretty. Y'all can go to Google. And then he was like 6 months old. I had 2 ruptured discs, and I pushed off surgery for a long time until literally I was like crawling to the ER. And then I had back surgery when he was 1 year old. And so I have had a lot of down there areas, bending and all the things, trauma to my body. Okay. I'm done using that weakness as an excuse. I'm so done. I'm so done. I'm done being handicapped by some muscles not moving the way that they used to move. So done with it. So when I'm done with something, my husband's like, watch out, like, ooh, here we go. Like, this is it. She means business. And I was. So anyways, all that to say, I knew what I needed. I needed habits. I didn't need a Biggest Loser. I didn't need let's bench press it out. I didn't need to go get this big old buff trainer. I didn't need to go to Orange Theory. I didn't. I know what I needed. I'm like, Jill, you're holding a lot of trauma in your brain because you're comparing it to your worst painful days. But you know that it feels really good to move your body because you did that. And that was a habit in your life for a long time. So I've got to get back to habits. So I am in a habit challenge right now just for rebuilding healthy habits for my business. You can follow me on stories. I'm sharing about it all the time. Anywho, because I know the power of a habit. So what does that do with our business? So maybe you're like me when it came to that. You're like, Jill, hold a hole. Surgery. That's your business right now. Hold a hole. Like you're ripped, like stitches, all the things. You're there. You're in pain. It sucks. Back office isn't pretty. Your team's left, or whatever that might be. You're not in momentum in the way that it was. And every time you think about it, your body shivers because you're like, ooh, I'll never get back to what was. I'm here to tell you, I'm gonna step on your toes. If I could, I'd hug you, I'd touch you, I'd slap you in the face and say, here's what you need. You don't need the best of the best trainer because you already got them. You don't need the app to work better. You don't need, I wish we were giving away free reset again. I wish this, that. You don't need that. Do you hear me? You need freaking habits. That's what you need because you're so out of line with habits. And I'm saying this to you as somebody who was out of line with habits. I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at me. Okay. This is something we've got to call ourselves on when it comes to our business. And we've got to say, do you have healthy habits? What is your relationship with your business habits? Ask yourself that, write that down. What is my relationship with my business habits? And if you're like, I'm really excited on the first when everybody's doing all the shout outs. And then I'm there to like, it's convenient till the 4th. And then like, I kind of go MIA till the 12th. And then all of a sudden, my upline checks in with me. So I'm like, here again for the IPA challenge, but then I really only do 3 days of it. And then I'm like, a little dead. And then I come back and then they're like magic week. And I'm like, all right, but I'm like hell on water, girl, on the 27th through the 30th, right? That's not a healthy business relationship. I'm here to tell you that. Compare that to any other relationship in your life. Your husband's like kind of there and then not, and then he's like, hey, and then not. You'd be like, this is toxic. I'm out, gotta go. Not telling you to leave your man, but I'm just saying anything else, right? A friend who's there and there and there and then not there, right? A mom who's there and there and there and not there. That's not healthy. How we treat our bodies. Oh, salad, salad, salad. Ice cream, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. Oh, salad, 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 salad. Oh, whatever that might be. That's not healthy at all. So let's look at that with our business. What is your relationship with your business habits? Oprah can't help you. Dr. Phil can't help you. Mel Robbins can't help you. Christina can't help you. Brittany can't help you. Nobody can help you until you decide and say, I need a new habit. Like, I got to make some habits. I'm out of habit alignment. I have got to do this. I have got to do this. And I will tell you, when I was massively out of habit alignment with my business, when I fell, she probably may not remember where it's at, or remember this, but I can tell you this to the T. I can tell you what I was wearing. That's how powerful it was for me. I was in the Hobby Lobby parking lot. Okay. Hobby Lobby parking lot. I called Christina on the phone. I'm like, do you have a minute to talk? And I call her in the Hobby Lobby parking lot. And this is where I was at. I was like, this is where I'm at. And I was like, throw up on her. And she's like, okay. You know what she said to me? I don't even know if she remembers this or not. She said to me, she's like, so what are you like currently doing about it? So like, are you just like, you're feeling this, but like, what is the action? And I was like, I mean, I had a every time. And she was like, what are you currently reading? When you sit down and work, what are you doing? Who are you coaching? What does that look like? I'm like, I did not have those habits for my new life season. I was telling myself, Jill, you need to get back to those habits when that was your season. And that was pretty toxic for me because I was comparing myself to myself. And I'm like, I can't get back to that. I can't get back to that. I didn't need to get back to that. I needed to get into this. So that's what I need you to know. I don't care where you were at and what you were doing and who you done did and where it was at and what reward you got and how many times you earned X, Y, and Z. I don't give a damn. Here's what I give a damn about. Where you're at now. I've been really broke before. Anybody else been really broke? Like real broke? Like broke? Okay, we've been real broke before. And so this is what real broke people do. If y'all didn't know, the rich folk on here. Real broke people, when they open up their bank account, they like cover up the amount. They don't want to see like the amount when it logs. You're like Wells Fargo, like you don't want to see it. And you're just like looking for to see if something did go through or didn't go through, but you don't want to see that available balance because the available balance has like a little dash in front of it. And that dash isn't good if you didn't know. And so I've been there in my life and I was doing that in my business. Any of you ever log onto the virtual office and just like bypass what the points say? And you're like, ooh, just cover the points up, or you don't even log on. So people are falling through left and right and things are literally on fire in something that you created and poured so much time into. Wouldn't you want a principal, a counselor, a teacher, a mentor, whoever to come to you and let you know the areas where your child was falling so short, where it was a fire, they were acting differently, right? What if your best friend, and we've all been in that situation, your best friend, your husband, whatever, they've been in a valley and you're like, you're on fire, like things are falling apart. Like, what are you doing? You got to ask yourself, I'm going to ask you that. And you got to ask yourself this tonight. What are you doing? Things are on fire. And again, you might be somebody right now who's like, Jill, nothing's on fire in my business. It is wonderful. Good. Please teach us next Monday. What's the great thing to do? But there's going to be a season where things are on fire, or someone in your business organization is going to be on fire and you need to know what to talk to them about. Right? So in the end, guys, we've got to be the one. There's no podcast. It's not me. It's not the person. It's not the thing. It's not the resource. We either move because we're inspired or we're desperate. Stitch that on a pillow. We're inspired or we're desperate. I mean, seriously, it comes down to that. And for me, the times that have really made me move, it's not been because I've been inspired. It's been because I've been desperate. And I don't know if you've ever been there, but I've been desperate, like deep, dark, desperate, like crying out to God, desperate, on my knees, a blubbering mess, desperate. That's when breakthrough comes, because you will not take no for an answer again. You are so done. Somebody on here tonight is feeling that. They are so done. Like, I feel that so deep from the Holy Spirit. Somebody is done. You are the only one that can get in the now. Stop comparing to what was. Stop comparing to that. This is my season. This is where I'm at. This is my reality. My points say, that's your homework tonight as well. I want you to log on and look at the son of a gun. And if it said, at one point in time, it said 7:58, but today it says 5:24, good. You take that pen and you write 5:24 on 1-29. You send it into your closest working upline and you say, here's where I'm at. I'm there. That's what the number says. And I'm done. I'm done. I am here. I am open to growth. Help me make my next move. What is your suggestion for me to get moving? As outside eyes who see in my life, my business, I would love your mentorship on that and be open to that. I don't have an upline. I told you, like I said, so that's where I called on a friend, phoned a friend, and I'm like, I'm on fire, things are dying. And she's like, get your ass up. Right? And so you had to be willing to hear that. So you got to be willing to hear that. And there might be someone on the call now who's like, I just ranked gold. What the hell's all happening over here? Like, I don't even know. That's okay, right? But I'm going to tell you what, you're going to have some hard days and balls are going to be thrown at you. In the end, we've got to find that habit over hustle is what's going to build the results and keep the results. We got to break up with that hustle culture. We've got to break up with the pass or fail. And we've got to be honest with ourselves. Here I am. It's like surrender, right? Here I am. Surrender. Here I am in all of my hot messiness. Here's what the numbers say. I can only move forward if I know exactly where I'm at, right? You can't climb out at like Dave Ramsey 101. You can't climb out of debt until you know how much debt you got. Like you can't, we're like, I'll make a payment. I'll make another payment. But what are you making payments to? You don't even know where it's going. Is it interest, is it not? But when he makes you sit down and look at things, you're like, whoa, we didn't pay on the wrong thing for the wrong time. Look at that interest over there. We are dumb because we did not educate ourselves. So I'm telling you, you might be a little dumb in an area. I've been there. I've done that. I need to educate myself. Educate yourself on what you need to do. And one of my favorite things I say to my team all the time, and I said this on Super Saturday if you were there, I'm like, your phone, we plug it in every day. This is what we do. Plug it in your phone, don't you? Because if we don't plug it in, what happens? It dies. It goes red. It dies and we freak out. We're like, my phone's going to die. Oh my God, I need a charger. Oh my God, a charger. Oh my God, I've got a charger. And we're like freaking out. We will pull over at the nearest Walgreens and buy a charger. Like that's what we do. We freak out when we are not plugged into the source. We die. We're in the red zone. We're barely holding on. Our battery's just flickering. What do you need to do with you and yourself and your business? You plug into the source. What's the source, Jill? This team. This team is one amazing freaking source, and they're going to help you row in the right direction, and they're going to help you with the resources, and they're going to plug you in, and they're going to call you out, and they're going to coach you in that way. Plug into the source, get with the trainings, listen to the podcast, listens to the recordings, whatever the challenges are that y'all are doing right now, because the second that you unplug from that source, what happens? You're in the yellow, and then you're in the red, and then you're so far gone, and then you're like beep, and they're flatlined. And that's it. And now you don't even have a charger. So stay plugged into the source. And that's what those consistent habits, because that's what's going to build. Okay, I've rambled and yelled at y'all enough tonight. I love y'all.
That was fantastic. Fantastic, Jill.
Revival. I love it.
I knew you were the one. I knew it. The chat has been blowing up the entire time. You probably have not gotten to look at it because you were
I haven't. Because
preaching
if I
to
did, I'll
us.
start reading and talk to you.
You were definitely preaching, and it was so good. We have a lot to think on and reflect on, because it is up to us, and it's up to us to take ownership, And I remember when you called Christina that day, because she was like, oh my God, Jill called me and this is what she said. She called me.
Yeah.
So we
you
were
got to be
like,
willing to be a little bit vulnerable with somebody who you obviously trust and say like, I don't got it all together right now. Because sometimes we have this space, so we put it all together. And especially when you work on social media and you work in a large company and, oh, everyone saw me ranked Emerald, or everyone saw me, but now I'm not going back to Hawaii, or whatever that might look like, right? And sometimes we got to be a little bit vulnerable. And I will tell you what, it turns around. beauty from ashes. Okay, beauty from ashes. God will use your ashes and turn it into big beauty, because there is somebody who needs your ashes, who needs your testimony story, and that's what they're going to hold on to.
100%. 100%. Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. Well, you were definitely the girl for the job tonight.
So
We
honored,
love
so honored,
you.
y'all.
We
So
love you
honored.
so much. And this was fantastic. So appreciate you. Thank you for all of this. And we'll definitely be checking back in with you.
Follow y'all on the gram. See you later.
See y'all later. Good night.
Bye, y'all.